Hello everyone, welcome to another Swayam lecture on the fundamentals of computational biology. Today we will look upon the fundamentals of population dynamics. So the population dynamics refers to the study of changes in a population size and structure over time. This is influenced by various factors such as birth rate, death rate, immigration and emigration. It involves the analyzing the interaction within a population and how these interactions impact overall the demographic profile. Let's start with the importance of ecological and social context. So, the population dynamics is crucial in understanding the relationship between organisms and their environment. It helps ecologists to predict and manage the impact of population changes on the ecosystem, including species interactions and biodiversity. Now, the importance in a social context. So, in a social context, the population dynamics is essential for studying the human populations and their implications on the society, economics, and the resource management. It plays a key role in demographic studies, urban planning and the policy development. Now we will study some of the basic concepts associated with the population dynamics. So first one is, what is a population and its characteristics? A population is a group of individuals of same species living in a specific area at a given time. Now different characteristics associated with the population is, the members of population shares a common environment and can interbreed. Now the population can be studied at various levels, from species to the broader ecosystem. Now let's talk about what are the different components associated with population and population dynamics. So first one is population size. It refers to the total number of individuals in a population. It is a fundamental parameter for understanding the scale of a particular population. Now another important aspect is population density. It represents the number of individuals per unit area or volume. Now these influences the resource availability, competition and interaction within the population. So let's study the population distribution first. So it describes the spatial arrangements of individual in a given population. So these patterns include random, uniform and clumped distribution influencing the ecological processes. Now let me talk about the population growth. In this particular population growth there are several subtypes. So let's begin with the exponential growth. The exponential growth occurs when a population increases at a constant rate over a specific period. Growth is proportional to the current population size. So what are different characteristics of this particular type? So the rapid and unrestricted growth in ideal condition. It is oftenly observed that in a small or newly established population. So the equations associated with this is NT is directly proportional to a constant that is called as rate constant and the initial number of size. So the another very important growth is called as logistic growth. So in this logistic type of growth, it describes a population's growth curve that levels off as it reaches to the particular carrying capacity of that particular environment, and it is oftenly very influenced by these environmental factors. So these environmental factors contribute to the stabilization of that particular population. So different characteristics associated with this type is, the initially they are exponential growth and that is followed by a slowing growth rates. So the stabilization occurs when the population reaches to a carrying capacity. So by what do I mean by carrying capacity is that particular environment, the maximal number of individuals that a particular environment can hold, it is called as carrying capacity of that particular environment. Now let me talk about the factors influencing the population growth. The first one is the birth rate. Birth rate refers to the number of live births occurring within a population over a specific period of time. Oftenly, it is expressed as per 1000 individual. So, what are the different factors that influences the birth rate? So, one such factor is biological factor. In this category, the fertility rates, the age of reproduction, the genetic predispositions are the important factors. Now another factor is the socio-economic factor. So access to the healthcare, education and the cultural norms regarding a family size, these all influences the birth rate. Another important factor is the death rate. So death rate represents the number of deaths within a population over a specific duration of time. Typically, it is also expressed as per 1000 individuals. What are the different factors it is influenced with? It is the healthcare factors. So the quality and accessibility of healthcare services. Now there are also environmental factors that affects death rate. So it is climatic, disease prevalence and overall environmental condition. These affects the death rate. Another important aspect is the immigration. Immigration involves the movement of individuals into a population, impacting its overall size and composition. What are the factors it is influenced by? One such factor is the economic opportunities. So the job availability, the economic stability, all these factors influence the rate of immigration. And also there are environmental factors. So the resource availability, the habitat stability or suitability, it is responsible for the immigration. Now the next one is called as immigration. So immigration is a departure of individuals from one population to another population, influencing its demographic structures. So the influencing factors are the economic considerations. In this category, the subtypes can be the job opportunities, the standard of living, all the social or the political conditions of the another population affects what is the rate of immigration. Another important aspect is the political stability or the governance in that particular environment. Let's talk about in this category the demographic transitions. So the demographic transition is a model that describes the historical shift of birth and death rates in a population as they undergo economic and social development. These demographic conditions are defined by several stages. Let's talk about them one by one. So one is called as pre-industrial stage. In this pre-industrial stage, there will be high birth rate and high death rate. These are because of their limited health care and technological advancement available for them. Another important stage is transitional stage. So the falling death rates due to the improved health care. And in this category, the birth rate remains high, leading to the population growth. The third stage is industrial stage. Now, there will be continuous decline in the death rate and the birth rate start to decline due to the urbanization and economic changes. The last stage is called as post-industrial stage. In this post-industrial stage, the population will see the low birth rate and the high death rate because of the urbanization and the environmental factors. Now, what are the different factors that influence this transition? One such important aspect is economic development. The shift from the agri-based to the industrial economies play a very critical role in these sectors. So the healthcare advancement. Now, the improved medical facility and sanitation can increase the socio-economic state of that particular population. Now, the education, it provides the awareness to the family planning and other important aspects. Now, the next one is the social changes. So it shifts from a cultural norms and roles from the previous stage to the current stage. It provides a very important aspect. Another important aspect is the age structure pyramids. So these are the graphical tools illustrating the distribution of ages and groups or the genders within the population at a specific point of time. What is the purpose of this? So this aid in the understanding of population dynamics and predicting the future trends. This provides the insights to the demographic composition impacts on the social and economic aspects. Now, what are the different subtypes associated with these changes? So the expansive, stationary and the constitutive. So one is the expansive one. So the characteristics of expansive one is the broad base, indicating a high proportions of young individuals. Now it narrow down towards the top due to the lower life expectancies among the elder people, and it brought down at the bottom. What are the different implications associated with this? Is a high birth rate and the potential for rapid population growth. There are also society emphasis on the youth related services and the policies. That's why it is widened at the bottom size. Another one is the stationary pyramid. So in the stationary pyramid, the gular shape or the regulative uniform width across the age groups. What is its implication is? It is a stable population with the balanced birth and the death rates. These are having the predictable demographic trends and the resource allocation. The last one is the constitutive pyramid. So what are different characteristics associated with this? Is the narrow base, indicating a lower population or the lower proportion of young individual. So the widening towards the top due to increase in the life expectancies of elder people. What are different implications of this? Are the declined birth rate and the potential population decline. There will be increased demand for the elderly people's care and the healthcare services. Now, another important aspect is population distribution. So in this we will first talk about the spatial patterns. So the population distribution refers to the arrangement of individuals within a geographical area, offering the insights into the ecological and social dynamics. So the spatial patterns examples are the random distribution. The random distributions are oftenly observed in plants and animals with the abundant resource where the individuals are scattered regularly across the landscape. The next form of distribution is uniform distribution. These are common in species with the territorial behavior where the individuals maintain even spacing to reduce the competition for the resources. Another important distribution is clump distribution. It oftenly occurs where the individual clusters together and it is influenced by the factors such as resource availability, protection or social behaviors. Now, what are the different aspects it covers? It is the urbanization trends. So the urbanization is a process of increasing population concentration in urban areas particularly. It is driven by factors such as industrialization and the economic job opportunities. What are different factors? So one factor is the economic opportunities. Now the cities often provides more job opportunities, attracting people from rural areas. Next one is the industrial growth. So the growth of industries in urban centers, they attract more people. Now the improved amenities. Now the urban areas tends to offer better infrastructure, healthcare and educational facilities, and they attract a lot of rural area people. Now, what is the impact of this urbanization? So these impacts are oftenly covered as the altered lifestyle. Urban people oftenly tends to change their lifestyle and their consumption patterns, and the strain on the infrastructure is also remain constant due to better focus on the utilities and the healthcare sector. The social and the cultural transformation. Cities become a melting pot for the diverse culture and ideas. What are the different impacts on the social and economic structure? So let's talk about social impact first. Now, changes in the community dynamics. Urban environments can offer a community structure and the social interaction. In altered culture practices, the interactions with the diverse culture may lead to the adaptation of new practices and reforms. Now, the impact on the social services. So, the demand for the services like healthcare and education may change. The first one is shift in a employment pattern. Urbanization often coincides with a shift from the agrarian to the service and the industrial economies. Now, the next one is resource demand and allocation. Urban areas may have different resource needs than the rural area needs. Now, what are the different influences on the national economic development? Concentration of economic activities in urban centers can significantly impact a nation's overall economic pattern. Now, we will again talk in depth about the different population densities. I have already talked about population densities. It is a measurement of population per unit area, oftenly expressed as peoples per square kilometer or per square miles. It is calculated by a very simple formula, that is the population size divided by the area in that area belongs to that particular population size. Let's talk about the implications for resources and infrastructure. So first one is resource availability. So the high population density may strain the availability of resources such as water, food and energy. Now, planning for these sustainable resource management becomes very critical in the densely populated areas. The next one is the infrastructural challenges. So the densely populated areas often face challenges in providing the adequate infrastructure, including the transportation, housing and sanitation. Proper planning and investment in the infrastructures are very essential to support the ever-growing population. Now let's talk about the environmental impact. So the high population density can contribute to the environmental degradation if not managed sustainably. They often leads to the increased waste generation and the air and the water pollution, and its habitat loss are the potential concern. So there are several mathematical models associated with the population dynamics, and let's talk about the existing models. So the mathematical models in a population dynamics helps to predict and understand how population changes over time. They are essential tools in ecology, epidemiology and the demography. The key models are the exponential growth models. These models describe the population growth without constraints such as the food availability. The next one is a logistic growth model. This incorporates the carrying capacity leading to the stabilization of the population growth. The next one is called as prey-predator models. These prey-predator models describes the interaction between predators and prey population. And there are also differential equation models in a population dynamics. So the differential equations oftenly expresses how a population rate changes relates to the current state. They provide a dynamic understanding of population that is changes over the time. First example is the exponential growth equations. So in this exponential growth equations, the dn by dt represents the rate of change of number of population over time. It is oftenly expressed as mu times n. N is the initial growth and the mu is called as the growth rate associated with that particular population. So these mathematical models provide a quantitative insights into population growth over time, also known as population dynamics. They help in predicting the trends, understanding of ecological processes, and informing management and conservation strategies. In exponential growth models, we oftenly consider the exponential growth because the growth is very rapid. There is no bottleneck associated with these processes, and the graph associated with this is explained in this particular figure. We oftenly see a J-shaped curve because there is no reduction of growth with respect to time. Now, what are different examples in nature? One such example is bacterial population. Bacterial population reproduce rapidly in favoring conditions, leading to the exponential growth until the resources are depleted. In this particular example, we will talk about the invasive species. So some introduced species experience a exponential growth in their newly environmental conditions with unlimited food supply and limited competition. Early stages of population colonizes, they are the perfect examples of the exponential growth. But in reality, we do not see the exponential growth throughout the bacterial population or any such population. For this, we use the logistic growth model. And in this logistic growth model, it is important to study the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity, oftenly expressed as K, is the maximum population size that an environment can sustain over a long period of time. Logistic growth incorporates K, that is leading to the stabilization of population size as resource become limiting factor. What are different applications associated with this? So first one is the wildlife management, predicting and managing the animal population in the conservation efforts, and also it is applicable in case of agricultural system. In this, the understanding and optimizing the crop yields and rational to the availability of resources is very, very important. The next important factor is the public health. Modeling of the spread of disease in a particular population over time oftenly take help from these models. Now the last model is called as the prey-predator models. It is also called as the Lotka-Volterra model. It is given by two scientists, Lotka and Volterra. So in this, the population of prey and predators are oftenly imagined to inhabit together, and the prey's population is oftenly influenced by the predators, and the assumption associated with this, the food supply to the prey is unlimited, and the predators are oftenly depends on the prey's size. So the equation is given in this figure, and let's talk about the interactions between prey and predators population. So the mutual influence changes in the predators population affects the prey's population and vice versa, and we see a oscillating pattern. The fluctuations in the predators and prey population over the time. Why? Because once the prey's population increases, it invites the increase in population of predators. Now, if the predators population increase constantly, they tends to decrease the population of prey, and once the prey's population is limited, now again we will see the decrease in the predators population, and this follows a cyclic route. That's why we see the oscillating pattern in the population size of prey and predators. Let's talk about significance and application of these models. One such significance is ecological balance. prey-predator model illustrates the importance of maintaining the ecological balance for the sustainability of ecosystems. Conservational planning. So understanding the dynamics helps in the planning for the conservation of endangered species. Next important application is in pest control. So these are applied in the agriculture to model and manage the populations of pests and their natural predators. In the next segment we will talk about the human population dynamics, and in first we will talk about the historical trends, the population growth over time. So the overview of how the human population has grown from historical times to the present. It is important to study how the dynamics have evolved over the time. So the factors such as agricultural revolution and the industrial revolution, medical advancement, these factors are very essential in understanding of human population transition. And in this particular category, let's also again talk about the demographical transitions. Now, the highlights in the shift of birth rate and the death rate leading to the current global population trends. And it is also very essential for us to predict about these different trajectories. So, in this prediction part, we will talk about the population projections. These are the examining the projections for the future population growth using the demographic models. So, emphasizing the potential challenges associated with the rapid population increases over time. What are different concerns associated with this are, the first one is resource depletion. Addressing the strains on the essential resources like water and food and the energy supplies are oftenly associated with the resource depletion. Now, the next segment is environmental impact, discussing the impact of a growing population on climate changes and the biodiversity. And next segment, we will talk about the social and economic challenges. So, analyzing the potential challenges related to the employment, education and healthcare often leads to influence the population dynamics associated with humans. Now let's talk about different strategies for sustainable growth. The first one is family planning and education. So by promoting family planning measures and education to empower the individuals to make the informed choices about the family size. The next segment is healthcare access. We have to ensure the widespread access to the healthcare, including the reproductive healthcare services. Now, let's talk about the economic development segment. Linking the sustainable economic development with the population management can greatly influence the current population dynamics. In the next segment, we will talk about the environmental conservation. So, emphasizing the importance of sustainable practices and the conservation effects to preserve the environment can greatly influence the environmental impact on the population dynamics. So for the learners, we have included some of the case studies associated with the population dynamics. So in the first case study, I will talk about the examples of population dynamics in a specific species or regions. So in this, the first one is the African elephant population. Let me give a brief background of this particular case study. The African elephants population has faced the severe threats due to the poaching for ivory, habitat loss and the human wildlife conflicts. So in this particular category, let's talk about the population dynamics associated with these elephants. Despite of the conservational effects, certain population are struggling to recover. The dynamics involves the interplay of protections, measures, the international trade bans, and the socio-economic factors in local communities. So what are different lessons we have learned from this case study? The case highlights the complex relationship between the conservation policies, the economic factors, and the involvement of local communities. It has also emphasized the need for the holistic approach that addresses the both wildlife preservation and the local life. Next case study involved the grey wolf population in the Yellowstone. Let me again give the brief background about this. So the reintroduction of grey wolves in the Yellowstone National Park in the 1990 aims to restore the ecological balance disrupted by their absence. Let's talk about the population dynamics associated with this particular step. So the presence of wolves have influenced the behavior of prey species like elk, and it leads to the changes in the vegetation and the ecosystem structure. So the wolf population has fluctuated, the impacting the prey predator dynamics in this particular region. So what are different lessons learned? So the case underscores the role of keystone in species in that particular ecosystem health. It highlights the potential for the positive escalation effects when we address the imbalances in the specific population. The third case studies is a demographic transition in Japan. So the background is that Japan is undergone for a demographic transitional characterized by declining birth rates and aging population and the societal shift. So the low birth rates and longer life expectancies have led to the aging population. The impacts includes a shrinking workforce, and these increase the demands for elderly people for their care and changes in the family structures. So what are different lessons learned in this particular case? The case emphasizes the need of adaptable social economic policies to address the challenges of an aging population. The lesson includes the importance of supporting the elderly care infrastructure and the encouraging the work-life balance in these countries like Japan. Let's talk about the challenges and the future directions. So in these particular challenges, there are global challenges related to the population dynamics. So the first challenge is the resource scarcity. The increasing population puts a strain on the essential resources such as water, food, and energy. And the second one is the environmental degradation. The rapid urbanization and industrialization contributes to the population, to the pollution, habitat loss, and the climatic changes. The next one is social inequalities. Population dynamics can lead to the social inequalities, particularly in regions with high population growth rates and limited resources. Let's talk about the role of technologies and policies. First, let me describe the role of technology. Innovations in agriculture, renewable energy, and healthcare can help to address the resource challenges and the support sustainable for the growth of that particular population. Now, in this category, the digital technologies can aid the data-driven population management and resource allocation. Now, let's talk about the policies. Effective policies on the family planning, education, and the healthcare availability are crucial for managing the population dynamics. Sustainable development policies can address the environmental impact of population growth over the time. So the global cooperation is essential to address the population changes that are transitioned to the national borders. So the collaborative effort efforts can promote the knowledge sharing and the coordinated strategies. So by this we have understood all the important aspects of population dynamics, how it helps studying the population growth over time, and it also helps us to predict the nature of the future trend. And it is also very essential to understand the socio-economic impact in several areas, such as the policy making or the availability of resources for every population, because our society is enriched with a lot of differences in the socio-economic status. So with this, let's wind up today's lecture. We hope you have learned about how different models are available for the studying of this population dynamics.